Okay, hi, it's Matt here from TubeEO.com, and in this video I want to talk about my targeting funnel formula. Now, anyone who's been in the digital space or online marketing space, advertising space, knows about funnels. Okay, so start broad. Okay, so you advertise to Facebook, YouTube, Google, you have SEO, you have Instagram, you have blog posts, you have all these things. You put out perhaps ads in the radio, TV, newspaper, whatever, but you start very broad and you focus them all in towards you and your campaign, your products, your services. So that's in a nutshell what a funnel is. But my funnel formula, or my targeting funnel formula, at the time of recording this video, I haven't put it into a digital image. Hopefully that will be included, and basically starts really broad. So when you start a video campaign, so I'm now talking about a funnel formula within video marketing, start very, very broad. Don't narrow it down too much at the start. So now I need to differentiate here between two things. One is, when I'm talking about start broad, I'm talking about with your targets and your placements. Your message needs to be reasonably specific. Okay, for example, if I said to you right now for TubeEO, if I said get more out of YouTube, who does that target? That's too broad. That doesn't appeal to anyone. But if I said, are you a musician looking to get more views and build your reputation on YouTube, then that's a specific message. And when I say start broad, I don't mean with broad messages. I want you to have a specific message and play that in that space. When I say start broad, let's use that example and go and look at musicians. So when we're in the musician space and we're looking for musicians to come to TubeEO, I don't want to just aim for, musicians that are starting out and trying to build their reputation. At the first stage, I want all musicians who are trying to get more out of YouTube. So I want to look for beginning musicians, established musicians. I want to look for jazz musicians, blues musicians, solo vocalists. I want to look for the whole gamut, and I want to target all those placements, those keywords, those tags. Start very, very broad. Once your campaign's running, you can go, oh well, the jazz vocalists or the blues musicians are not interested, and you cut them out of your campaign. But start very, very broad. Now, the other thing is, when you're starting broad, start with you need a high volume to test this. So start your campaign with, if you're intending on long term to spend, say, $5 a day, $10 a day, $100 a day, whatever it is, let's pick a figure, just a round figure. Let's say your figure on just this campaign is going to be $10 a day, and you want to target 10 cents or less. When you start with $40 or $50 a day for the first 2 or 3 days. You probably won't spend that if you've targeted rightly. The other thing is, start with a bid of 20 or 25 cents. That way you're going to get lots of traffic really quickly, and you can look into your broad and see what's working, and you can start to get rid of the ones that aren't working straight away. Leave your budget turned up, see what happens. See what areas start to perform now. You've increased your relevancy. You've got rid of all the rubbish that doesn't work, and we've started broad and we've increased relevancy, and now we're getting more and more targeted. Pick out of those, pick your high volume channels and keywords, okay, and perhaps go into those and look in this high volume channel. They might have 20 videos. Which ones of those are most relevant? And again, we've started broad in that channel. Now let's just start to narrow it down. Let's get rid of, in that channel, the 2 or 3 videos that are not performing. Okay, let's look at the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 videos that are the highest performers and make sure they're relevant. Okay, so I just need to pause. So then what you do is, now after 24 or 48 hours, you've started really broad. You've started to eliminate all those videos and channels that aren't working, and you've worked it out with a high bid. Right, now it's time to lower your bids. So if you wanted $10, bring it back down to $10. If you wanted 10 cents, lower your bid to 10 cents. You've now got, in Google's eyes, you look good because you've brought in plenty of traffic. You've got plenty of test data. You've established what works and what hasn't. You've filtered out some of the rubbish. You've filtered out some of the high performing irrelevant channels. Now what you need to do then is, now you broaden out your targets further. So you might have initially gone for, like I said, jazz musicians, blues musicians, solo vocalist, musician looking to increase YouTube views. And now it's time to go, well, hang on, okay, within those I know what worked. Righto, what else can I think of in that space? And go and grab 4, 5, 6 more areas. So as an example, you might go and grab, I'm just picking randomly here, but you might go and look for bass musicians, okay, or bass, I don't know, say brass musicians, and you add 4 or 5 more categories, so to speak, and do the same with them. Ramp up in the first 24 to 48 hours, have a high budget, work out what's working, bring them in. Now you've got two targeted groups to bring in. So after that works and you've worked that section out, go and get a third funnel and bring in. And all of a sudden, instead of having that little funnel, that big funnel that you started with, which has been narrowed down, now you've got 3 narrow funnels which create one big funnel. And that's my funnel formula. If you try and create one massive funnel to start with, the problem is the funnel is just too big. It's unmanageable, and you can't work out what's working. You can't dig through all that data. So start with a decent sized funnel, turn it into a small targeted funnel, replicate that slightly into another area, then a third area, and that's how you use my funnel formula. I'll add to this video and change this video over time to add a lot more detail. I'll bring in some infographics and I'll make those available via PDF. I'll notify them via Facebook and YouTube or my subscription mailouts. So if you haven't already, head over to TubeEO.com or subscribe on our website at TubeEO.com.